Genevieve hated cruises. It was 3rd November at 3 o'clock as the Australis Star sailed through the heads with blasts of its horn and cheers from its passengers on the 14th deck. The harbour bridge and opera house were miniature postcard portraits in the distance as the ship entered the Tasman Sea and picked up speed towards New Zealand. Despite a sharp breeze sending infrequent gusts of spray onto the deck, it was hot, and getting hotter. The bouncy voice of the young entertainment director blasted through a screeching microphone, exhorting everyone to join the Sail Away dance competition, try the deck games, enter their names for bingo or the hole-in-one golf competition, and treat themselves to a cocktail at one of the bars. Genevieve didn't want to do any of these things. She didn't want to be there, sitting on the deck, trying not to hear the loud conversations of her fellow passengers, trying to empty her mind, as Ella had advised. The noise made it impossible to read, and she'd moved from the sun into the shady part of the deck. It was more crowded here, and there was the smell of cigarette smoke and coconut oil. But at least the sun wasn't pounding on the back of her head, and she could take her hat off to let her sweaty scalp breathe. Snatches of conversation. "Where's your cabin?" "We took a balcony suite this time. We're on deck 7. "What dinner sitting are you?" "Champagne, anyone?" 19 days of this, eh? Genevieve saw the fattest person she'd ever seen. His wobbly flesh hung down under a black shirt as big as a tent, and he wore voluminous shorts that stopped below his knees. His calves and ankles were bloated, blotched, and dimpled with folded flesh, and his feet were squeezed painfully into cheap rubber thongs. His toenails were clean and neatly clipped. He had a boyish face, a head too small for his huge body, a tuft of light hair sticking up on his scalp, short back and sides, like a little boy who's just had a haircut. She'd seen him earlier, sitting in the lobby as people boarded, his apron of flesh slumping down around the chair. He had a perpetually eager expression, a half smile, like a small boy eager to please. She noticed a beautiful young Chinese woman, broad flat cheekbones and a wide smile. You'd feel safe telling her your stories, Genevieve thought. She felt sick. The boat was swaying now, and the sea seemed rougher. The fat man was to the left of her sightline, and he was talking to someone, smiling. His voice was light and high. He was working hard to be liked. The fat protruded out over his hips, like a massive low pregnancy. She thought she'd like to get to know him. She wanted to lie down, wanted to go home. She determined never to go on another cruise. The problem with having nothing to do, the problem with trying to shut down your mind, Genevieve thought, is that it makes room for memories. They arrive quietly at first, and then attack, until you will do anything to kill them. Memories you don't want leer up at you from forgotten darknesses in your past, demanding your attention. You want to erase them as you delete redundant files on your computer, but inside your mind there is no trash bin for memories.